Hey everybody, it is the Levi half of Comics in the Making, and right now this is the HeroesCon Haul short vlog for you right now. Last weekend was HeroesCon, and Ryan and myself tabled at AA 52, a number burned into my brain. It was a great time. We had so much fun, met so many people, reconnected with old friends. Our little block of Artist Alley was, I think we were the best block possible. We just had a good time. It was like one long 3-day episode of Comics in the Making. It really was great. So you can check out that video, which will be dropping on the channel sooner than later. But right now, I just wanted to kind of bring you into what I picked up at HeroesCon this year. Jeez. So starting off right now, I've got Mahdi Keene's Steel Streets. Mahdi is a cartoonist in New York who is brilliant and exciting and fun if you follow him on Instagram. Great cartoonist, a lot of fun stuff, a lot of outlaw, sort of comic book, influence. He's got this character, this concept that is an amalgamation of the Eastman and Laird's Ninja Turtles and RoboCop, and it's just done so brilliantly. Last year I met him, got issues 1 and 2. You see they're this, kind of cool size, not quite digest, a little bit bigger. Dense books, and with screen tones and texture and so much action. These are just dope comics, and they harken back to a certain look and feel, and they're just fun as hell, without a doubt. I got issues 3, 4, and 5. I think he's beyond issue 10 at this point. Let me see if I can get some content. Superhero Comics Instagram. Right here you can see a .com. Get on that. It's not hard to find. Not just that, but he's got ads. He's constructed ads, right? To give it the feel of that comic book that you'd have gotten. That underground indie comic that you would have hid from your mom, back in the mid '80s. This is fun. It's dope. It was good talking to him again, reconnecting. Follow him on Instagram, and definitely check out his live draws. He does often. A lot of fun, a lot of things, a lot of cool stuff coming from him. That moves me right along. Right here to Cosmicat. So this right here was a HeroesCon exclusive. I got number 9 of 25, so that's dope. Nice hard stock kind of cover. Rick Lopez is the cartoonist, the creator of this. This is a beautiful book. He had more than this. This is the one that I got, and it kind of introduces this character, and so it starts out with like an ad for an action figure, and introduces the character and what it does, and then we have sort of this introduction build up, really delivering the character into the story, which is a lot of fun. And then I love process stuff. This is beautiful, right here, and these are pages from the next issue, I think, the subsequent issue on this. But man, it presents itself perfectly. So it's almost like you've got some definitely anime influence and dare I say, some Pokemon stuff going on, mixed right in with our favorite hack and slash type superhero stuff. And it's beautiful, and I just love seeing this process stuff, and anyone who hand letters their own books, has got my vote for president. I don't do that at this point, so yeah, that's a layer to the creative process that I have to take my hat off for. So yeah, doomdazed, Rick Lopez. Hopefully you can see all the cool stuff. He's on Webtoon. Cosmicat's definitely worth looking at. And kind of like with Steel Streets, it's got that kind of old school, underground, early, or not early, but mid late '80s indie comic feel. It's great. Which brings me to some neighbors of ours in Artist Alley, not too far away. Morgan B. Herron, and I've seen he was interviewed on the Comics Wellspring podcast. So this creator is associated with the Cosmic Lion, which is a cohort of creators from all over the place that are doing amazing stuff. I didn't get enough of all. There were so many creators, so much stuff. I myself, as a creator, I'm at HeroesCon to sell my books. Yeah, I can't help but get the things that are just jumping out at me. And Frankie Boy Monster was one of those. Morgan's got a great thing going on. I love the colors. I love these just hot, like 80s colors to me. And Morgan's pretty young, so I'm curious how he made those choices. So we have this. We have a basically a boy monster being dealing with life, and a helicopter parent, which is our Dr. Frankenstein, so to speak, here. And this is just a lot of fun, and the art style is reminiscent to me. It's informing me of like Jim Mahfood and stuff like that. It's off the wall, but it tells everything you need to know about the scene. I think it's really well done. A lot of fun. I got issues 1 and 2. He had more than that, but this is what I grabbed. So, give it a look. This is Cosmic Lion Productions. Is how you'll find Morgan. Great stuff. And speaking of Jim Mahfood, I got Girl Scouts, Stone Ghost, his most recent Girl Scouts offering, from what I understand. And if you don't know Jim Mahfood, get with it. I mean, going back to, I met him in the 90s, and we talked a lot about comics, making comics. I was still in the superhero thing. I think I was still buying Uncanny X-Men at the time. Hadn't aged out quite yet, but he had Cosmic Toast, which was an oversized sort of zine, wild trip, and I think he was on board to do the Generation X bootleg, which I still have them both in my collection, but I only currently possess the Generation X thing, which he's said is kind of like I did Cosmic Toast, funnel that into Generation X. But yeah, his disconnected style that tells every detail that's necessary. It's a case study in mastering the rules so you can just break the hell out of them. Beautiful book. This has got to be over 100 pages with just such amazing multimedia interpretations. And once again, when if you're a creator, you're drawing comics, you're trying to figure it out, and you're just really getting like over anxious about your rendering, maybe you're doing too much, but at the same time, Jim is someone who's mastered all that stuff, so he can bust it up. So maybe we have to go through that crucible doing everything perfect and tight so we can blow it up. I mean, and look at this. This is just like legal pad. You know, all of a sudden he just jumps to this. I don't know. 2 dozen panel. I mean, he's got a lot of panels per page, but I mean, storytelling's beautiful. Use of multimedia, use of space, influenced by everything, all at the same time. You know, something that is just purely his own. Wonderful. Jim Mahfood, Girl Scouts. I mean, do it. Image Comics. Not hard to find. And on that same note, Michel Fiffe, I got Creating Copra. You know, you may or may not know the beautiful comic that is Copra. This is sort of like that, as it says, definitive guide to making self-publishing comic books. I love stuff like this. It always, you know, getting insight from people and what they do and how they make their thing. Unlike some other, like, sort of like how-to guides, this is more like a journey that Fiffe took and the lessons learned on making it. Once again, all this process stuff that I can get lost in. I get lost in the camera frame too. It's great. I have not read this yet, but it's got all, hits all the marks, and you know, coming from Michel Fiffe, it's like you're not gonna miss adding this to your arsenal of knowledge. You know, putting this in your little ass pack of facts is only going to make you better. It's kind of like, you know, you would look at comics and kind of start to figure out how to do it before a lot of like how-to guides and stuff were starting to become available. I mean, back in the days when, you know, how to draw comics the Marvel way was kind of your only easily sourced how-to. But you would kind of look at things and kind of figure out, oh, that's how that's done. That's how that's done. But this is that, but it's speaking directly to you. You know, it's like it's how I did it, and you know, who better to take that lesson from today in 2024. And finally, for this video, I feel like I might be leaving some things out, but Scioli Witch Man. Very excited about reading this one, and I think the thing that I'm most excited about is, sadly, I'm not good at talking to people except for, hey, I would like to have that book. I'm not great at, you know, talking deeply to people, you know, social anxiety or whatever. But this is so much fun in so many ways. This is the kind of book that, like, I think would be very inspirational for someone who thinks they want to do comics. And I say that because it makes comics accessible. And I don't mean that to be like, I'm going to frame it this way. So, like, in skateboarding, you know, Tony Hawk and Rodney Mullen were doing these things that were superhuman. And over here, Lance Mountain is, you know, winning contests in his own right, but he made skateboarding something that you feel like you could do, right? You know, it doesn't diminish his skills, and it doesn't diminish or artificially elevate Tony Hawk or Rodney Mullen's skills. It has a lot less to do with what they were doing on the skateboard and how, you know, other than it has more to do with how they came off doing it, right? So, you know, with Scioli here, you know, it makes it accessible in the sense that I'm not trying to diminish his skills, and if you know his work, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. but there's something about this, and other artists. I mean, even Jim Mahfood, and even Ed Piskor, R.I.P. There's something about it where you're like, you know what? I can do comics too. Especially once you hear them talk about doing comics. But this has got everything. I'm really excited to read this one. I know a little bit about it. One of the things I'm curious about, which if I was better at talking to people, see, Witchman's very Batman-esque, but here we have this Spider-Man-esque stuff coming out, and it's just like, it's hitting the marks, man. I mean, it's hitting the marks. It's so cool. I'm almost like reading it right here. But one of the things, like, I wonder, I'm just looking at the marks and how they're on the paper. I just wonder if he drew this, what size he drew this at, right? I'm curious. I'm almost thinking he drew it at this size, or even slightly smaller. I don't know. But I'm very excited to get knee deep in it. I'm kind of reading it right now as I'm going through this. So, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. That is, man, I feel like there was more going on from HeroesCon, and I'm sorry if I forgot something. I'll do an addendum later on. Please look out for the Ryan's version of this episode, and please look out for our HeroesCon recap episode that will be forthcoming. This might fall into the channel before that one does, but that was my haul from HeroesCon. And if you were there, say in the comments, did you get some of the same stuff? Did you meet some of the same people? Who did you meet and what did you get that I didn't see? I know KFAM Sunday had a post of the HeroesCon haul. There was some overlap, but there was a lot of stuff that I just didn't see, and I'm there to find indie stuff. Had some fun conversations with some legacy Marvel people. You can see that on the main show, but it's so cool. There's so much there. It is so dense in terms of creators and offerings. It's a great place to find new work. So that's it for me. Enjoy, and we will see you later. And as we like to say, just do the damn thing.